If you're having a hard time making people do what you want them to, first check is it in their best interest? Stories are the best way to put people in specific states and describe transformations. Easy way to become worth 50% more than you are now, at least. The highest paid profession in the world. This is not a hook or a trick or a joke or a rhetorical question. It's a real question. Take your time, think about, even pause the video if you have to think about this one. Name me one skill, activity, profession, or thing you can legally do. Okay, I don't know where you live. I live in Canada, so wherever you are, where you can make 6 figures in a day. And it's not even like that much of a big deal. It's just a regular occurrence in the industry. Not much of a big deal. A regular Tuesday, a regular Thursday, 6 figures in a day. Name me one, aside from speaking, where you can make a 6-figure day just like that, legally. No wonder they say, and we all know, speaking is the most lucrative skill, the most in-demand skill, the highest paid profession in the world. Aside from, some things at the top. But for the rest of us, speaking is your fastest path to cash. And we'll go over this video here, how you can turn your words into wealth using thought bubbles, squares, and an acronym you'll love called CVO. So I don't know if you paused the video in the beginning to really think. It's not a joke. I'm not making a joke, okay? If you're not sure, why is there Warren Buffett on the thumbnail? That's because Warren Buffett, these are 2 quotes. Just pause the video, just go down. Warren Buffett says about speaking, it's the one easy way to become worth 50% more than you are now, at least. So that means 50%, think of your net worth now, okay, and what you're working on, what you're building. So you're working all day, 40 hours a week, 80 hours a week, whatever you're doing. You're building your net worth for the future. Think about that number you're working towards. If you just add, if you sprinkle the secret sauce of speaking and communicating on top of that, it blows up by at least 50%. And then also in the video, in the description below, check the other quote. These are long quotes. I just want to bore you here. There's one investment that supersedes all others. Invest in yourself. It can't be taxed, and not even inflation can take it away from you. And right now, inflation is crazy. So come back to this camera here where the learning happens. And on this camera here, goal is for you to get out there, kick butt, take names, grow your income, impact, and influence. So what's all this? This is called the sandwich, okay? This is how you know what to say. This is how you know when to say what. This is how you know how to choose your stories. This tells you exactly what to say in a way that it's easy for you and you don't have to stress with scripts or memorize or stress your face off, okay? You see here there's an objection in the middle, and you sandwich an objection between 2 stories and you sprinkle in a money shot on top. So what's an objection? It depends. Some people speak because they want people to vote for them. Some people speak because they want people to buy. So whatever you want to do, after you finish speaking, and I'm not talking about speaking for 2 minutes where you have to read something at work. Like, you're there for real on stage or on virtual Zoom, and there's actually people there, and you speak for 15, 30, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, 3 hours. You speak for real, not some little thing you present, a little thing on a slidey thing. It's just, there's no impact on how you say it. Real speaking, where you want real people to do something for real. Like, I don't know, click, vote, download, swipe, stop smoking, stop polluting the ocean. You want them to do something, okay? Now there's an objection. They won't do that. Man, I don't know if you've ever tried convincing people with logic. When I first started out my messaging journey, 2005, 2007-ish, I cut my teeth writing messaging for the personal development industry and on all the spiritual guys and all that, and the mindset coaches and the consultants of the you can do it guys and positive thinking and all these type of guys. And man, whenever my first sales letters or my first messages were like, I would send out to test groups and it would be like, oh, this is great. So well organized. Everything is so clear. We understand it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I would say, yes, pretty cool. So I would just send that. Man, nobody would buy. then here's how to know how to test your messaging, okay? This is for everybody, not just for the objection people. Come here. The way you test your messaging angles. If you want to use test groups, that's how you use them. So I would use them to take their feedback. Not anymore. What I did was, okay, you have the test group read your messaging, your copy, whatever the thing is, and if nobody says, can I get one? Can I buy one? Is there any left? Is this true? Where do I sign up? This is the validation you want. So creating messages that move people require more than logic. Logic is good. Logic is great. I love logic. I'm a logical person, okay? When it comes to moving audiences, logic alone won't save you. Like if you're terrified of public speaking, if you're like, I'm shaking, I'm terrified, you know logic won't save you. You can't say to yourself, man, it's just speaking. You're just making sounds with your face and there's people there. And it's not logic. The stuff that prevents you from doing what you want to do, I don't know, 6-figure days from the stage or something, okay, is not logical. And the stuff that prevents your audience from doing what you want them to is not logical. And the best way for you to create emotionally engaging transformations that are sequenced in a logical order is this. But what do you put in the bubble? See, this is the structure of it. So in the bubble, you're going to put stories because stories are the best way to put people in specific states and describe transformations. Now, when people listen to your stories, they're going to put themselves in the character if you tell it well. And they're going to have to, in order to understand what you're saying, you're going to have to create mental images, feelings, sounds, distinctions, perceptions, happenings in their mind that represent what you're talking about. So in case you did not know, as soon as you open your mouth in front of an audience, you are performing hypnosis. Question is, do you know it or not? That's the classic one. You always brighten up a room. Question is, do you brighten it as you're going in or going out? Anyway, so they have an objection to doing what you want them to. I don't know you. I don't know what you want people to do. First things first is, if you're having a hard time making people do what you want them to, first check is it in their best interest? That's the first kind of check. Because if it's not in their best interest, you're going to have it's an uphill battle wearing a weight vest and ankle weights going up a hill. If what you want them to do is aligned with their best interest, you have the wind in your sail. You have the wind in your back and you're going downhill all the way to the bank. It's called a collaborative close with the audience. A consultant's model, collaborative close, doctor state, prescriptions type of selling from the stage. If your intentions are aligned with their best interest. Check number one. I have an objection to doing this. Okay, what's the objection? I don't know. They say I don't have time, I don't have money. What are you going to think? I don't have the resources. I don't think I can do it. I'm not good enough. Whatever these reasons are, and logic is rarely it's just a consideration at the end type of stuff. Okay. Russell Brunson has a great format. He always goes emotion, logic, and fear. So emotion to get them stirred, some logic to put the frame in, and fear at the end to just move them across the finish line. Great format. So their objection. When did you overcome that objection? What movie did you see that somebody overcame that objection? Which one of your clients overcame that? What happened when they did? A real story, a real thing, something that they can relate to and know. So if you're speaking to 18-year-old bodybuilding vegans, well, it helps if you have a story from 18-year-old bodybuilding vegans versus 75-year-old carnivore people. So just because one of the secret things people think is, there's always, and I know you're thinking this right now. Yeah, this doesn't apply to me. That a secret things like this always scanning for level that won't work for me. That's different for me. My situation is different. You don't understand. Mine's different. There's all that going on. So as best as you can, say you have 10 client stories and you're speaking to an audience this weekend, well, and you're going to be telling 2 stories. You choose the 2 that resonate best with that audience that weekend. Yeah, but I don't want to switch my talk. You don't need to switch your talk. It's the same structure. It's the same call to action. You're going to see it's very easy when you do it that way. Okay, so you have an objection. Now, story one of the crushing that objection is, I don't know, it's like this skateboard story. I was on a skateboard. So your note says skateboard. You can even say SB, skateboard. That's your. Now, how long do you have to memorize and practice? I'm getting a notification here. Okay. How long do you have to practice or memorize to tell the skateboard story that you lived? 0. You told it before. Okay. Now, don't be a boring speaker. That's another story. And then your second story is like, I don't know, the time you were at the Bahamas. Something happened where you overcame that objection. Okay. So you just say Bahamas. Okay. So you know that you're going to start with this. Just by telling these stories and mirroring, like just reflecting the light on some places based on the audience and the calibration of the room, you just overcome these objections. You see the nods, you see the yeses, you feel them getting it, and then you move on, and then you chunk. You feel the yeses, you feel the nod, you tie it down, you feel them agreeing, good, you chunk, you keep on moving down. Then you move on to what we call a money shot here. This is where you take out the prop, the demo, the framework, the thing you teach with. This is where you bring someone on stage. Now that the audience has been primed with these stories and they understand their nervous system, for my hypnosis guys here, their nervous system has created the internal representations that made it so that they went through the steps in the story. You tell them in a specific way where they go through the steps of the journey. So by the time that they come into your demonstrations, their nervous system and their representational system internally is pre-framed. They already went through it twice. In the same sense that when, for example, hypnosis people take these tests from the stage to decide who they're going to come to the stage, certain people are more receptive than others. You can see them from the audience. You choose that person to get the better demonstration for the audience. That's how you would make your demonstrations more powerful. Anyway, so you have these two stories. You come in here, then you make your demonstration that cements it. This is first principles. This is speaking in analogies, and this is using first principles to see the baseline structure of reality of what's going on. Inside the mind of someone, when they realize that they are more than their body, there's a switch that happens. There's a light that comes on. There's something that happens. You illustrate that maybe with, I don't know, a light bulb, some sort of a demonstration. So this, if you want to see some demonstrations, I don't think I have money shots in the free trial that you can see. Yeah, so you'd have to be in the academy for this. But I'll probably make some sort of demonstrations on the channel. If you've seen my video about confidence, where I use like a coffee cup analogy, that's an example of a confidence money shot demonstration. After you've done this and the people get it, you can feel the room, it switches, they go like, yes, I got it. You don't stay there, you move on. What do? Now you tie back the Bahama story to whatever was said before. You recap the Bahama story, then you recap the skateboard story, and you move on. That objection has been firmly targeted, laser printed, crushed, destroyed, annihilated, and flushed down the drain with emotional stories that describe the transformation you had or the person had in the story. Yeah, but that doesn't apply to me. With the second one, oh, well, now it's like you're in stereo. You're in busting objections in stereo. Now, when you land this one here, this like you're just carpet bombing the objection, just nothing left. One of my clients sent me, like the Rambo meme, like the big bullet belt. He said, this is what it felt like destroying the objections with this system. Then you move on. When you recap this one here, if you do it, this one, the two before the one, you create automatically the wraparound callback effect, which creates, this was kind of an open loop, this closes it, and everything in the mind that's within a loop, once it's closed, it's digested, done. This is how you do it. Now this video is getting quite long. I wanted to go over the CVO framework. Let's make another video for the CVO framework so that you have this, exactly like this bubble, this ended thing. If you haven't not read the description below, check out the Warren Buffett quote. Investing in communication or public speaking is the number one investment you can make, in his opinion, not mine. You can check it out below. If you want some more resources, subscribe to the channel, like it if you liked it. If you did not like this video at all, and you want to make sure that YouTube knows, I hate this guy, I don't want YouTube to never show his videos to nobody, hit the thumbs down button really hard, and then hit it again, just to make sure that YouTube really knows that you did not like this video at all. For everybody else, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, doing the things that you do on YouTube. I take your comments and questions seriously. If there's anything you want to be covered in the next videos, put them in the comments, and this will influence, you'll be influencing me to make the videos you want to see. Godspeed.